It was great having her in the class, well known around town. Welcome, Alexandra Coe. Let her hear it.
Hey, good evening, Sarasota. So I'm a local politician, so don't believe anything I say tonight. We all know when you can tell a politician is laughing or is lying. Our lips are moving. So do you know why politicians take laxatives? It's so we can speak more fluently. So how many politicians does it take to screw in a light bulb? 2. 1 to tell the public that everything possible is being done, while the other screws it into a water faucet. I really am not that crazy about political jokes. I've seen too many of them get elected. So a Democrat, a Republican, and a Libertarian walk into a bar. The bouncer asks for an ID. The Democrat says, "Well, I identify as a 21-year-old, so you should let me in." The Republican bribes the bouncer because rules don't apply to him. And the Libertarian says, "Do you have a warrant?" You know, politics really isn't funny. It's full of special interest corruption, sex scandals, aliens. You know why they call it politics? Because poly means many, and ticks are blood-sucking parasites. You know, I don't blame Congress. If I had $5 trillion, I'd probably be irresponsible too. So, you know, I think that everybody in Congress should have to wear uniforms like NASCAR drivers. That way when they're up there telling us how they voted, we can see their patches that say Raytheon, TikTok, Pornhub. Do you know what politicians and porn stars have in common? We're both really good in front of the camera changing positions. So it seems that sex and politics are good bedfellows. Many of you may know about Congressman Anthony Weiner. Anthony Weiner served a 21-month sentence for sending a 15-year-old photos of his wiener. I think the stupidest political scandal I can remember happened in 1988. Democratic presidential frontrunner Gary Hart gets on a boat called Monkey Business. Later, a photo emerges of him with his arm around Miami model Donna Rice. Senator Hart later said that the photo was a setup and that he had clearly told Miss Rice to suck his erection, not wreck his election. So I was recently in Seattle. Seattle is a very different political place from Sarasota County. And I was walking down this street and I see this shop that's called Ye Old Curiosity Shop. So I was curious and I went in. And when I went in, they had the coolest stuff. They had like Native American totem poles. They had a taxidermy duckling with 3 heads under a glass globe. Like that. Don't know what you do with that. They had magic wands. They had shrunken heads. But I look up and I see on the shelf, I see 3 brains in jars. The first brain says scientist, $250. The second brain says mathematician, $275. The third brain says politician, $40,000. Bewildered, I asked the shopkeeper why the politician brain is so expensive, and he tells me that's because it's never been used. Thank you, Sarasota.
Alexandra Coe.